Hello, and welcome to another episode of We Only Look Thin.
You should see the face he makes when he does that.
We only look thin.
His head kind of pops up like he's... Anyway.
I'm Donald Weigel,
And I am Catherine Weigel.
the woman who supposedly loves me.
He only supposedly loves me.
Loves me. All right, anyway, hello, and welcome to another episode.
Yeah, and if you hear, aside from our shenanigans, if you hear any seance-y kind of things in the background, our neighbor is having a meeting right now in which they occasionally sing happy birthday to one another. So if you hear any sort of haunting male voices, it's just our neighbor. So
Yeah, they already sung happy birthday twice today. Anyway, this is probably fascinating for anyone listening. So, Catherine, tell me about your week. Did you face any challenges in your weight loss, your fitness?
I sure did, Donald Weigel.
Yeah?
Last week was the big game, Sunday, the big game. And we planned to have some sandwiches, which
We did.
We planned and we had them. I also made banana muffins with our daughter. And it ties into that, like, oh, I'll make banana muffins. That'll be easy and good, and I will have one. And then I had 3 of them. And
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. I did have one.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. I might have had 2.
Anyway. So my intention was to be mindful and on track, and I was feeling really positive, and I ate much better than I would other years during the Super Bowl. But I still overestimated my power of self-control. And the first couple of days of the week, I felt really defeated, and I was up on the scale at kind of a really heavy weight for me, and my pants were tight, and so I had to snap myself out of my funk.
Well, but the good news is you did get on the scale. You didn't avoid it like you might have in the past.
No, and I think that is something, self-correcting is something that I'm fantastic at now. Before it would be, I'd be up on the scale, and then I'd stay off the scale for 2 or 3 months, and then wonder why I was up 20 pounds. It's a mystery.
Yeah.
So I think just correcting quickly has really helped me. But I just felt terrible the first part of the week. And then magically, without any kind of rhyme or reason, I felt really great starting at about Wednesday. And I stayed in a calorie deficit, and the scale is going back down in the right direction. So it feels really good. I feel inspirational. I feel accountable. And just really in the zone. That could change in 20 minutes. By the end of this podcast, I might be in the dumps.
Before we're done recording this, you'll have eaten an entire cheesecake.
And that is a big problem with me, because I do know that my emotions kind of throw me hither and thither.
Yeah, I think I'm more affected by circumstance. I went into the Super Bowl, into that Sunday, kind of expecting to just eat whatever I wanted, and I sure did. I ate like it was my last day on Earth.
See, I think you think that, but I've seen other last days on Earth from you, and you were quite reserved. Like, you didn't use your stomach as a plate rest, which I think in years past you might have done that.
Yeah, I'm sure I have. I'm sure I have. But I had planned on it, and I was good with it, and the next day I got right back on the wagon, so to speak. But I was also faced with, I work on a new TV show, and we started filming this week, and I had to be at work at 6:30 in the morning on Monday, and so I didn't get our 4-mile walk-in in the morning, and...
Ooh, I forgot about that challenge.
So I was light on steps. I was light on steps the first 3 days of the week. I had to be there before 7 a.m. the first 3 days of the week, and then got a little later and caught back up. But I was able to stay on my calories the rest of the week, and I'm a little disappointed. I was up a pound this week, which I guess
it's time to give up. Yeah. Goodbye, this is our last episode, our farewell episode.
Which I guess is to be expected, although I was so rock solid Monday through Friday that I thought maybe I would be okay. But anyway, I got through it. I got up at 5 a.m. on Friday and didn't get home from work until about 12:30 a.m., which made it hard to stay on calories. But yeah, I guess I should be happy with only a 1 pound gain.
Well, and I think in the past, a 1 pound gain would have brought on the, who even cares? It doesn't even matter. I can't even do this workout. Why should you even bother?
At least it didn't bring on the Borat
The Borat voice, which, well,
must be nice.
I'm going to try to forget I ever did that. No, but you actually bring up a good point about not walking a few days this week in the morning, because what we've struggled with in the past, and when days are going great and everything is in line and we hit our step goals and we walk together, which is a great benefit, but then there's the challenge of not walking together and what that means. I don't feel comfortable going out by myself at 5 a.m. Because of banditos and marauders at every corner.
Brigands and low men.
So I didn't go out to walk, and I had some pretty serious work days ahead of me, and so there were a few days I didn't hit my step goal. And then Don did something I wasn't very comfortable with. He called me out on not walking. I don't enjoy having a mirror held up to my habits. I don't like that. That's not what I'm here for.
No, she does not enjoy that.
And so, as revenge, I've hit my step goal every day just to show him how wrong he is. And,
and I've been shamed by it.
No,
I'm very proud of you, actually.
Well, but I think it is very easy to be thrown off course. And I think, sometimes people say, it takes 21 days to build a habit, as though there's some habit force field that you go through where suddenly you can just keep something going forever. Like, it is so easy to fall off track if you make an excuse. So I ended up we have a rebounder now, a little miniature trampoline.
It's great.
It's fantastic. We're going to talk about that a little bit later, about the strategy of convenience.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. But I snapped out of it. I don't like truth. Truth is a bitter pill to swallow, but I think...
Well, I merely pointed out that your day was the same. You had to be at work at the same time and do the same stuff, but you didn't enjoy that.
No, but I think you can make excuses for anything. And, I was already feeling unstable. So now when I'm in a good mood, I am grateful for your mirror holding up thing. At the time, it was difficult to hear.
You're welcome.
Did I say thank you?
No, I don't know if you did.
So today, we're going to tuck into a subject called the strategy of convenience.
What does that mean?
So one thing that I think has been really important is being honest about, speaking of the mirror holding upping, is you do what is easy. And the easier something is to do, the more you do it. So if you have an open bag of potato chips as the centerpiece of your dining table, pretty sure you're going to go to the open bag of chips.
You might eat a couple.
It's not potpourri. It's potato chips.
No.
So we're going to talk about making it easy to make good decisions. We all have great days where we feel like we're invincible and that our motivation will keep us on track. And then there are days where we are just struggling to make good decisions. And you have to prepare for both of those. You have crazy days at work. You are running behind with chores to do. You're running weekend errands. And I don't have any scientific numbers on this, but I would say that most of our listeners eat food probably every day.
Yes.
Like 80% at least eat every day.
Yeah, I don't know if I could cite my sources on that. But
No, we're not.
I believe it's true.
We're not. What are we, census takers?
No.
No, we're not. We're not fun.
No.
But we often, and I know I used to do this, and I still do it, it's that like, oh, I have to run 20 errands today. and I'm hungry. I'm so surprised by that. I'm just going to eat potato chips because they're at the checkout counter at the grocery store. I had no choice. But my history might tell me that I eat every day, and it should not be a surprise to me that I get hungry at some point during the day.
Yeah, and you brought up right before we started recording that when you plan to fail, you fail to plan, or whatever that expression is.
Yeah, it's just, it's an Aesop's fable, I think.
I think so. Involving fish and
a fox and a crane.
Talking fox, I don't know. But you have to put in some effort, and you have to say to yourself, I am going to be in a situation later where I'm going to need food. Where's it going to come from? And you have to be mindful of making sure that you have the foods that are going to help you as opposed to hurt you on your fitness adventure.
Right. So you had mentioned, and I think all of us have this, this magical basket or bowl of, candy at work where, it's like you're walking by and it's right there. And so you grab it.
Yeah, in our pantry, in our kitchen at work, there is it's like at least a 2-pound bag full of, Hershey's miniatures, which are delicious.
Which you could melt down into a giant block of chocolate if you wanted to.
They were awfully tempting at 11 o'clock at night on Friday when I had been there all day.
So you grab what is convenient. If there was a giant bowl of apples out on the counter that were pre-washed and ready to go, you might grab one of those. If the chocolate is in a metal box with a combination lock and a series of labyrinth-like challenges to get through, you're probably going to go for the apple instead of the chocolate labyrinth. So we're going to talk about strategies at home, at work, on airplanes, in cars, and out in society that might help you stay on track.
Yes,
and
indeed.
Working toward positive habits. You are not a victim of your life. You know you have work to do. You know you have a home. You know you have travel. And acting like you're shocked that you're hungry is ridiculous. There is no surprise.
There is no surprise at all. And one of the things that, you have to stop telling yourself that you're buying something for others and that you're bringing it home, and that you have the willpower to resist it. Make it easy for yourself to resist things by not having them at home is one of the first things.
Yeah, and I've talked about not bringing the devil home with you, and I know that there are still a few demons in my food closet. I don't know, Pandora's box of hummus?
Pandora's pantry.
Yeah, that I can't bring home with me. I haven't had hummus in about 2 years, and I'm still not ready to face that delicious demon.
I actually had a Coca-Cola on Super Bowl Sunday, and I'm fine.
We'll post a video.
I'm very proud of it.
I am proud of you. So let's start by, if you will, let's start in the kitchen, shall we?
We shall.
Michelle, so have you ever gone to someone's house and you walk into their kitchen and they have chips and cookies all over the counter, right in your face?
I grew up in one of those houses.
I know. I remember going to your house and being like, how? What you see is what someone's sort of true nature is. And there are sick, twisted individuals who can just have one chip and walk away and live a normal life. I'm not that, a family size bag of Lay's potato chips is a dare to me.
No, that's a bad idea. If you're going to eat potato chips, bring home the little tiny single serving bags. And enjoy the single serving bag and, count the calories and move on.
Yeah. And if you're looking at your own kitchen, look at your pantry, look at your refrigerator, look at your counters, look at the top of your refrigerator. What is most easily accessible to you? Do you have chips and cookies all over the counter for family members? If you open the pantry, what is the first thing that you see? Are the, chocolate morsels right at eye level, or are they down away in an opaque container, sort of out of sight, out of mind? This is something I've had to work on. And one of the things that I've done is to keep easy, prepackaged foods on hand that are portion controlled, or at least like nobody ever gained 100 pounds because of eating washed cherry tomatoes. Like,
yeah, or carrot sticks. And, we generally have a big, giant bag of carrot sticks in the refrigerator that we keep, easily accessible towards the front.
Well, and that thing of convenience is a real issue, because if you buy baby carrots and they're in the back of the lettuce crisper underneath 50 other things, that's not going to be in front and center in your mind as to what to eat. So I recently, actually, when Donald said, I eat carrots when I feel like snacking, I've lost 100 pounds, and I was like, oh my gosh, you can eat carrots as a snack, like without hummus. That's a thing people do. So I've actually, we bought a 2-pound bag of baby carrots, and I go so far as to put it front and center with the bag open. I don't even seal it, so that I can just reach in every time I'm bored and, or just go into the refrigerator to just grab something. I just reach in for a couple of carrots, and it satisfies that like sort of habitual open the refrigerator, see what's there to snack on. And I also I have snacks in the refrigerator, but I keep them in an opaque mason jar so that I don't actually just see them when I open the refrigerator. And for me, that's been big.
I keep my peanut butter cups in a sealed jar inside the refrigerator as well. There's just that little bit of a barrier, and I eat them. I probably eat 1 or 2 every day, but there's just that little bit of a barrier that stops me just from grabbing it and instantly eating it.
Yeah, and I keep, you can buy apples, sure, but what if you washed the apples and took off those friggin' little stickers and had everything ready to go so that when you walked into the kitchen, you could just have one? There was that little tiny barrier of, it's not washed, I'll just grab potato chips.
Or even get the pre-sliced ones
we do
they sell.
Too. So keeping things out on the counter that are beneficial. I've had a couple of mandarin oranges this morning just because they were right there and grabbable, whereas I keep other snacks literally in a tin in the back of the pantry. So it's not right in front of me. So that's been really huge. We also do, we don't do any food prep. We're not, our fantasy selves go to the farmer's market every Sunday and spend all day chopping vegetables and prepping meals. We're not those people.
Yeah, no. I mean, I do a little bit, but generally it's like day of, and it involves easy convenience foods, things like cottage cheese that I can just take from one container and put into a smaller one to take to work.
Yeah, individual containers of yogurt. Sure, it costs a little bit more, but it's pre-portioned. It's, I know how many calories are in it. I don't have to dole it out. Pre-bagged potato chips and, that kind of thing. They're fine to have around, but you have to know yourself, and you have to know.
Yeah, those little bags are only about 150 calories, generally. They're not horrible.
Yeah.
And they're, they satisfy that snack urge, for me at least.
Well, and two, we both work full time. We've got a daughter, and for me, I don't cook like meals every night per se. I have foods that are convenient to sort of semi-home make. So I'll get, a heat and serve chicken entree from the grocery store, and I'll pair it with steamed vegetables from a bag. And then I also have pre-chopped lettuce that, I just use instead of like, in my fantasy world, I'm going to make this amazing salad from scratch. Like, that is not my life. So knowing how much time you have, and that could change from, time of year or whatever.
The pre-chopped cauliflower and broccoli and the pre-washed and trimmed green beans that you can just microwave in the bag have changed my life. I mean, those are incredibly low calorie and filling foods that are just easy and quick and, are almost no effort at all, and I feel good about eating them.
Yeah, I went to the grocery store this morning and bought bagged cauliflower, and I just, I actually put some in the microwave and cooked it this morning, because did you know that you can have vegetables any time of day, not just at night?
No.
It's true. So, Do I want to have cauliflower right now? No, but if it's already cooked and ready to go, I might grab that with my breakfast instead of grabbing something less healthy. So that's convenience in the kitchen. Now, can you eat food from home outside of the home, Donald?
I believe it's possible.
How do
we
you
have
do
the
that?
technology. Well, largely with the aid of cooler bags and those little travel cooler frozen dealies from the freezer.
Yeah.
I will pack myself. If I know I'm going to be in the car for a long time, I'll pack snacks for the family and try to focus on things that are within the diet plan, and that are calorie friendly and that are going to stop us from pulling into the closest fast food restaurant and going crazy.
Well, and there have been times too where I didn't even know that you packed snacks, and we would go somewhere and I'd be like, I'm so hungry, what do? I guess all I can do is eat a bag of potato chips. And you're like, oh no, I brought yogurt, and I brought ham slices, and
I ruined everything.
I was like, oh, well, I guess I got to make a good choice now. So, you can keep a cooler bag in the car with snacks. You can keep, in my glove box actually, or what are they called now? Is it a glove box? Do people wear gloves?
Sure, it's a glove box. It's a glove compartment.
Yeah. In the car, I keep pre-portioned peanuts, say that 10 times fast, for myself, and I keep beef jerky also for our daughter.
You're the beef jerky.
You're the beef jerky. But it's like I go out, and I'm running errands, and I'm at the grocery store, and my impulse is to grab something really unhealthy because I'm tired and it's late, and then I remember that I already have a pre-portioned snack. So keeping things like that, even 100-calorie popcorn packages.
Yeah, having it handy. I keep some of that in my work bag, and it really comes up in quote unquote emergencies if I'm I didn't plan well enough and I'm caught out somewhere and I'm suddenly starving, that I don't just immediately go for a giant fast food something or other.
Yeah, and you've got to know yourself too. If there is a healthy-ish quote unquote snack, but you can't control your portion, do not buy more than one. If you love protein bars, but you can't stop yourself at one, only buy one. Like, you don't have to, don't fool yourself with items that you can't control yourself around.
And it takes planning and it takes some work. It would be a whole lot easier for me to go to work and eat the free food that was there, but I know if I do that, I will be right back up the 100 pounds that I lost. And I have to plan every day, like how much I'm going to need, and I take it with me to make sure I have it. And I can sometimes get the production assistants to buy things that are in my plan to have around too, but mostly I just eat the food that I bring. And a lot of people, that's going to turn them off. It costs money and it takes time, but it has to be done if I want to stay fit.
Well, and at convenience stores, at Starbucks, more and more you're going to find snack packs that are pre-portioned, calories noted on the packaging, hard-boiled eggs, cheeses, fruit. You've got to look for it, but if you go to 7-Eleven or your Wawas,
I've been saved a lot of times at convenience stores by them having hard-boiled eggs and having those little individual cheeses. The eggs are like 70 calories each. The cheeses are usually around 100, and it's satisfying and stopped me from downing a family-sized Doritos.
Yeah, and I'll take 100-calorie popcorn with me and put it in my purse, or beef jerky or something like that, and it'll just cut that starving. You make bad choices when you feel like you're starving. So just having those at the ready. Even at airports, the last time we traveled somewhere, we went on a sort of a reconnaissance mission to all the little kiosks to see what places had the best choices. Because sure, you can get a croissant sandwich for 1,000 calories and wash it down with a Mr. Pibb and
yeah, Mr. Pibb.
Yeah, the nation's drink. But we went out looking for healthier alternatives, and I ended up finding a fantastic salad. And, not to say that every choice I make is great, but, you can be a victim of where you are, or you can look around and see what options you have. A banana, an apple, it's never been easier to make a good choice. You just have to consciously look for those choices.
And the same thing can be said about your fitness activities.
Fitness? Is that a thing?
That's a thing.
Oh, so I know we've talked about this in the past, but I used to go to a gym to work out, and I thought that that's what I needed to do. If you love working out at a gym, that's great. Make it convenient to you. Is it better to have a gym that is convenient to your office at work? Is it better to have one very close to home? Or, somewhere in between? Does it have easy parking? Is it easy to get to? Are the hours convenient for you? The more positives you can find in it, even if it isn't the best gym in the world, the more likely you are to go if it's easy and it fits your schedule and your time and your needs.
Yeah, and the more whatever physical activity you do, the more you can not hate it, and the more I won't say enjoy it, but the more you can not hate it, and the easier it is to get to it and do it, the more often you're going to participate in it, whatever it is.
Yeah, and we have bicycles. They are covered with tarps and covered in dust, and the tires are flat. How often do we ride them?
And literally chained up as well.
Literally chained up.
I don't remember the last time we rode them.
Make it harder for us to ride our bicycles. But right now we're walking, so it's not an issue. But I'm telling you, we have not ridden them in a couple years probably. But what we do is we set out our walking gear for each morning. I've got my shoes ready. I've got my workout gear ready the night before.
Yeah, so I'm not fumbling for it at 5 a.m. while I'm still trying to wake up.
Yeah, I keep, we have our rebounder that we just bought. It's not the prettiest thing, but it's right out in the middle of our living room floor. So there's no, oh gosh, I need to put it together. I've got to get it down from the highest shelf, or put the wheels on it. It's right in front of us, ready to use.
And I've got some free weights that I use a few days a week that are, just kind of in the living room behind the couch, easy to grab, easy to do. And we do a lot of exercises that you can do just about anywhere. Push-ups, crunches, in addition to the walking. I mean, you can walk just about anywhere. You can walk in place. If you've got stairs at your home or at your office, that is an exercise you can do.
Yeah, and basically the more convenient you can make everything, the better. And I used to say, and I know I've said this before, that I didn't have time, I didn't have room, I didn't have the opportunity. And those are stories that we tell ourselves to keep us from our goals. And you can use any excuse you want, or you can really make a game out of finding convenience in your life. Taking the long way, having things out in the open and ready for you to use, pre-washing your vegetables, buying pre-packaged things, keeping fitness simple. You don't have to work out for an hour. You can do 5 minutes. Just really letting go of your old stories and really putting yourself in a position to be positive and make it easy to make good choices.
Yeah, you've heard of setting yourself up for failure. This is setting yourself up for success.
Oh, that's a thing.
Yeah.
I think we just came up with that.
Yeah.
So tell us, look around your house. What booby traps do you have? Where do you keep your snacks? Are they easy to reach? Where do you keep your healthy treats?
Where do you keep your exercise?
Yes. Do you know where your gym shoes are right now? Be mindful, be proactive. We have a daughter, and hearing her make excuses about why something is too hard makes me realize
there is no information on the internet about whatever topic she needs to learn in school.
No, it doesn't exist.
It's not there.
No. But we say that to ourselves too. We say we don't have time. We say that we don't have the resources. Turns out if you've got a floor, you can do a push-up or a knee push-up. If you've got feet, you can walk with them. We've already talked about that.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I on those days early in the week when I couldn't go on my morning walk, I still got in around 10,000 steps a day by using all those tips we talked about on this episode.
Yeah.
And, it can be done.
Yeah, so we are going to go and make the rest of our day convenient. We've made listening to this podcast convenient for you,
Yes.
so you're welcome.
You can find us at weonlylookthin.com. You can find us on just about any podcast app, iTunes, TuneIn. We are on Stitcher.
We've started tweeting. There are tweets.
There are
There's
a few
Instagrams.
tweets you can find us.
Yeah, and get out there and make some positive choices. Don't be a victim of your circumstances.
Let us know what you do to set yourself up for success. We'd like to hear from you.
Yes. So that is all for now. We're gonna go convenient. Is convenient a verb?
We're gonna convenient the heck out of our lives.
Yeah. So have a great week, and we look forward to more inspiring later on next week.
Remember that we are an inspiration nation. The information that you hear on this podcast is for informational purposes only. The hosts are not medical professionals. You should always consult with your doctor, nurse, or other certified health professional before beginning any diet or fitness program.